Here's what they didn't want you to know. The video was removed from YouTube. It was removed from every internet site in the world because when you watch pay-per-view, the pause or the what they call it, the relapse, whatever they got in between the live broadcast and pay-per-view is shorter than what it was on HBO, the regular HBO. So on pay-per-view, they end up saying things that HBO don't want to be seen again. And when it's on pay-per-view, you basically are out of luck because they're going to make sure they edit it and it never hits the screen again. There's an interview with Freddie Roach that they never wanted aired. It was never going to be talked about. You can't even find it pretty much in any of the boxing past websites. I've searched it and trying to look for this video, and I had to go get the DVD. Somebody else had it, the pay-per-view, and I was able to get the video. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, it's about Oscar De La Hoya fighting his entire career with illegal hand wraps. Okay, the way he wraps his hands and have his hands wraps are illegal. Okay, and it's illegal in every state. He uses strapping tape instead of surgical tape. Surgical tape, you cuts easier and it's thinner. Strapping tape is what they use to strap up boxes. And what he does is he twists until like where they make spirals, and he puts them in between his knuckles, and it almost makes like a fifth knuckle. So, to include this, Freddie Roach allowed him to go into the ring against Floyd Mayweather with illegal wraps, and he knew they were illegal. But when the next fight came for PACQUIAO, that's when he opened his mouth because he wasn't with him anymore. Now, where's this man's integrity that y'all talk about? He doesn't have any. But enough of me. I got the proof. For all those who said I was lying and it never happened, here you go.
And right now, let's introduce a story which has gotten a fair amount of out-of-the-ring attention here within the past 24 hours. And this has to do with the controversy over the wrapping of Oscar De La Hoya's hands in tape. Larry Merchant, very briefly, if you can, tell us about the confrontation that took place behind closed doors yesterday about how De La Hoya's hands are wrapped and what ultimately is the product for this evening.
Well, Freddie Roach, who trained Oscar De La Hoya for his fight against Floyd Mayweather, objected to the way that Oscar tapes his hands, in which he uses up rolled pieces of tape between the knuckles to create ridges almost like other knuckles, which theoretically is against the rules. The upshot of that dispute was that the commission decided not to do anything about it, and so Freddie told me earlier that he was going to do something very similar with PACQUIAO to make sure he's not at a disadvantage. More importantly, perhaps, and of course most of the time these things go away as soon as the fight starts, is that Oscar wears on his left hand, his big hand, some kind of plastic protection on his thumb, because he often throws wide punches and has damaged and I think even broken that finger in the past, and the commission ruled he could not wear that for this fight. Whatever it means in the big picture, it doesn't make Oscar any happier with Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao than he's been leading up to this fight.
Well, in fact, it seems to have been Freddie Roach's goal to get under Oscar De La Hoya's skin for the past several weeks leading up to the fight. And Emmanuel Stewart, I have to ask you, how much of what's going on here is Roach trying to get under De La Hoya's skin and the skin of the other people around De La Hoya, and how much of it is a legitimate concern about how the hands are wrapped?
I think it's a legitimate concern of Freddie, and the fact that Freddie's been quoted more in the papers and on the internet than any other person involved in this fight shows he's very emotionally involved in this fight, whether it's from friction, from training De La Hoya, whatever. So he's going to be on the edge about everything. But so far, I think he's been successful overall. I think the fact about the tape and whatever, I don't think it's really that much of an advantage, a disadvantage. But the fact that it's upset Oscar there tremendously. And he and his top people, Richard Schaefer, have been very agitated about it. So he's been very effective in causing a lot of emotional drama in the camp.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe the lesson is, if you're going to hire a guy as your trainer, and at least you give him the impression that he's going to be your trainer for a while, and then you drop him after one fight, he's going to keep it in his consciousness.
That's one of the things that he did say. He says, you know, Oscar says, well, the last time you were with me, you didn't complain about this when you was in my corner. He says, yeah, but I wasn't wrapping your hands. He says, so why should I complain? I was on your side, but I'm not on your side that time, so it's a different story.
The weight is no issue. I'm telling you, I can come down to 140.
Were you angry about this whole dust-up about how you tape your hands and protect the thumb on your left hand?
I actually had no idea what's going on. We're going to tape our hands the way we normally do, and we'll go up in the ring and fight.
Manny, are you surprised that you will go into the ring tonight weighing more than Oscar De La Hoya? 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 Weighing more than Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah, I thought I'm surprised because I'm weighing 148 and a half and he's weighing 147, so I'm surprised I'm bigger than him.
Are you as strong as him?
Strongest him? I don't think he's strong. He's strong enough.
Freddie, briefly describe this issue about the way Oscar tapes his hands and how you think it might have benefited him and what the result of the complaint to the commission was.
Well, the type of tape they use is called strapping tape, and it says in the rules white porous tape, white surgeon's tape, but not strapping tape. Strapping tape is for shipping boxes and so forth. The texture is much stronger. It's a much thicker tape, and I think it's a lot stronger and adds power to the heaviness to the wrap. And then when it goes between the fingers, it says strips of tape between the knuckles. What they do though, they take the 1-inch tape and they roll it up, and it makes it like a piece of rope, and they put it between the fingers, and it causes a ridge on the knuckle. And I think that ridge can come through the glove and cut my fighter. So I complained about that. So unfortunately, I lost the tape issue, and about the between the fingers, they agreed to go with ½ inch instead of 1 inch to make it not so high.
And you're trying to equalize it by doing something like that for Manny Pacquiao?
Well, I have it prepared for Manny, and I'm going to see how it feels on his hand. If he likes it, we'll go with it. If he doesn't, we won't.
Now, what about the issue with the thumb? Has he been wearing some sort of plastic protection on a thumb?
He uses it in training quite a bit, and I've seen him use it in fights before. And but it wasn't. The commission ruled it out right away this time, so it wasn't an issue.
So, are you trying to get under his skin? You know him not just physically but emotionally. Is he not as good a fighter when he fights angry?
Yes, I do think that. I hope he takes the rage into the ring. But the thing is, I'm also protecting my fighter, and all I'm asking for is what's in the rule book, and I feel that I had a point, and the commission ruled against it, and I can live with that, but I think I get under his skin a little bit.
All along, you have made it very clear that you're goading Oscar in standing up for your man and believing that your man not only can but will win the fight. Was this some sort of plan that you went into this whole scenario with?
Yeah, definitely, you know.
Weight, 145 yesterday. He hasn't weighed that little for 12 years. 147 after
however many meals he's had in the last 24 to 27 hours? How do you see that?
I think it's great for us because when you starve yourself for a long period of time like that, your stomach does shrink. And I'm sure when he tried to eat, he got full so quickly that he couldn't eat anymore. He possibly even got sick doing it because sometimes when you feel like you starve yourself, you have a tendency to overeat. And some guys go the other way, but I think it's great for us. I think he's going to be weak in the ring, and we'll see.
Weak in the ring, does that mean it will show up early in the fight or only after a long, hard fight?
In the middle of the fight, I would say. I don't think it will affect him for the first 3 rounds, but after 3, watch out.
Thank you, Freddie. Jim?
All right. Well, Emmanuel, Freddie Roach is a lovably appealing character, not least of all because he battles the advancing onset of Parkinson's